Hi, my name is JIGME Gyeltshεν, and today I'll be presenting my life cycle assessment on a second-hand IKEA lamp. I started off by cataloging the lamp shape as it was the easiest to disassemble. The main materials here were metal frame and the cotton shade or covering. The next component was the bulb made out of glass and metal. The third component I cataloged was the lamp base or lamp bulb holder, which was mostly made out of steel and plastic. The fourth component was the wiring, which was mostly made out of plastic and copper wiring and a nylon-like cover. And then the final component was the switch, which was mostly made out of plastic and wiring. I decided to focus my analysis and research on the three most significant materials found on my lamp, which was the steel, plastic, and cotton. Steel is used in the lamp's frame, base, and bulb. It's produced by mining and then smelting the iron ore and then processing it into different steel products. The steel is usually mined in countries like China and India, which are the two of the world's largest steel producers. The environmental impact of steel starts at the mining stage, where iron ore extraction destroys habitats and disrupts ecosystems. Then this smelting process requires extremely high heat, releasing around 1.8 tons of carbon dioxide per ton of steel produced. On the positive side, steel is one of the most recyclable materials in the world. Up to 98% can be reused with lower energy consumption compared to other materials. Secondly, plastic is used in the bulb holder, the wiring, and also the switch. IKEA states that by 2030, all their products will use recycled or renewable plastic, and they already use recycled PET plastic in most of their products. The recycling process involves sorting, washing, melting, and remolding plastics into pellets, which can be later transformed into newer products. However, it is energy intensive and often produces a lower quality plastic that can't be used for food packaging. Even though recycling helps reduce waste, it still relies heavily on energy resources such as fossil energy. And when plastic is discarded, it takes a long time for it to break down, usually around 15 to about 500 years depending on the type of plastic. IKEA sources much of its recycled plastic through a Shanghai-based company called Remol. The cotton fabric used for the lamp's shade is sourced from IKEA's more sustainable cotton program, which includes recycled cotton and fibers grown under the Better Cotton Initiative. Cotton is renewable and biodegradable, but its biggest issue is water and pesticide use. It takes about 10,000 liters of water to produce just 1 kilogram of cotton. An excessive withdrawal of water for cotton farming has been blamed for the shrinking of the Aral Sea in Uzbekistan. Also, the use of pesticides in cotton has also been blamed for thousands of deaths of farmers each year. During its use, the lamp emits around 10 kilograms of carbon dioxide over its lifetime, mostly from electricity consumption. At the end of the lamp's life, its environmental impact depends on how well its parts are separated and recycled. The steel can be fully recycled, the cotton can degrade, and the plastic component, however, poses the biggest challenge if sent to a landfill or it is incinerated, since they can release toxic chemicals and greenhouse gases. Finally, my exploded diagram shows the overall impact of the three materials. Cotton requires huge water input, but it is biodegradable at the end of its life. Steel requires high energy use during manufacturing and causes environmental destruction due to its mining. Plastic causes the most trouble at the end of its life as it requires the most energy to recycle and has a high potential to damage the environment. Overall, most of the lamp's impact occurs in production and transport.